Hello, and welcome back to Motivation Boosters. Today we are diving into a topic that is close to our hearts. How to stand strong, radiate your passion, and not let anyone dim your light. In a world that's often quick to judge, criticize, or silence what sets us on fire, it's crucial to remember that your light is yours to shine and your passion is worth sharing. But here is the kicker. I want to share a story in the Bible about a man who did not let anyone dim his light, his voice, or even his relationship with Jesus. Stick around because by the end of this video, you will be encouraged, motivated, and strengthened by this biblical story. People may try to discourage you or make you feel like you are a nobody, but Jesus is the answer, and you mean a lot to him, and he wants you to be encouraged today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and join our incredible family. Be sure to share, like, and comment. Now let's dive in. The story of a blind man named Bartimaeus, Mark chapter 10 verses 46 to 52. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called to the blind man, "Cheer up. On your feet. He's calling you." Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him. The blind man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." "Go," said Jesus, "your faith has healed you." Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. Now let's dive into some lessons or takeaways from the story of blind Bartimaeus that you can apply to your life, whether it is your relationship with Jesus, something you are passionate about, or a goal you want to achieve. 1. Don't let anyone dim your light. Bartimaeus was a blind man and a beggar, and he begged for handouts to survive. Could you blame him? He did what was necessary to survive, and I commend him for that. He heard that Jesus was nearby, and he knew he had a chance to be healed. Bartimaeus could have walked through the crowd looking for Jesus, but he could not see because he was blind. The only option he had was to use his voice to call out to Jesus, but people tried to silence him. Some Bible translations say that people rebuked him for calling out to Jesus, which means disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior. Can you imagine how Bartimaeus could have felt? Put yourself in his shoes for a moment. Bartimaeus was probably having negative thoughts in his mind, but his faith and his act of not giving up allowed him to continue to call out to Jesus. When we are chasing after God, we should not let anyone silence our voice. When you are chasing your dreams, goals, or something you are passionate about, you should not let anyone silence your voice, make you give up, or just neglect the thing you really want. As a result, Jesus pursued and healed Bartimaeus, and he was now able to see. 2. Don't pay attention to the naysayers. In the story of Bartimaeus, we observe the people who tried to silence him. But when Jesus pursued or called to talk with Bartimaeus, the same people who tried to silence him tried to encourage him. Isn't that funny and ironic? Has that ever happened to you? It is important that we do not listen to people who try to silence us because those same people change as situations shift in our lives. Here is an example to register in your mind. Let's say you told a friend you were starting a business, and the friend just shot down your idea by speaking negatively about it, but you didn't let what your friend said stop you, and you eventually opened your business, which became profitable, and now that same friend is trying to get on board with you after they just discredited your idea. Be like Bartimaeus and ignore the naysayers, and you may even need to evaluate whether you allow someone to stay in your life who does not support what you are passionate about. 3. Leave the old behind and walk into the new. Bartimaeus understood that once Jesus healed him, he would not go back to that life of being a beggar because he had put his cloak down. Back in biblical times, Bartimaeus' cloak was his only possession and his only source of income, and it gave him legal rights to beg for money on the side of the road. His cloak was a coat, and it was his identity back in those times. For example, we need a driver's license to be identified in today's world. Once Bartimaeus received his sight from Jesus, he knew his identity was changed, and he could now live a life where he did not have to beg anymore now that Jesus had restored him. Has your identity been based on what people think about you or what Jesus thinks about you? Take off your old cloak and put on your new cloak, because you are not defined by what you did in the past or the mistakes you may have made. Jesus has come to set you free, and all you need to do is walk in the freedom of a new identity. So there you have it, my fellow lightbearers. Embrace your passion, ignite your voice, and stand resilient against the storm of criticism. Your light is a gift to the world, and it's meant to shine brightly, guiding others toward their own brilliance. Remember, you have the power to overcome any challenge and share your light with the world. Don't let anyone dim your radiance. Keep shining. Thank you for watching this video. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, and subscribe for more empowering content. Until next time, embrace your light, embrace your passion, and keep on shining. Take care.